The highly anticipated trial of Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak over the alleged plundering of State Fund 1 Malaysia Development Berhad 1 MDB officially started today. The former Prime Minister claimed trial to 3 counts of criminal breach of trust (CBT), 1 count of abuse of power and 3 counts of money laundering related to SRC International Seri Berhad's 42 million ringgit fund. Datuk Seri Najib arrived at the lobby of the Kuala Lumpur court complex at 1:51 p.m. Under heavy police escort, the former premier strode towards the lifts on the ground floor to the courtroom on the 5th floor. A fracas also broke out at the court when a supporter of Datuk Seri Najib was not allowed to enter the courtroom. The ex-premier faces 7 charges over 42 million ringgit of funds belonging to SRC International, which was a former unit of 1MDB. The first 3 counts under Section 409 of the Penal Code are over Datuk Seri Najib allegedly committing criminal breach of trust involving sums of 27 million ringgit, 5 million ringgit and 10 million ringgit, while entrusted with the control of 4 billion ringgit of SRC International funds in his capacity as the Prime Minister and Finance Minister. Under the 4th count, he was charged under Section 23 of the MACC Act with abusing his position to commit bribery of 42 million ringgit to provide government guarantee for the Retirement Fund Incorporated or KWAP's 4 billion ringgit loan to SRC International. The remaining 3 charges are for allegedly money laundering, the same total sum of 42 million ringgit, where Datuk Seri Najib is accused of receiving 42 million ringgit in proceeds from unlawful activities in 2 of his Islamic Bank Berhad accounts. The money laundering charges are under Section 41B of the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali is presiding over the trial, and Attorney General Tommy Thomas is personally leading a team of another 11 lawyers for the start of Datuk Seri Najib's trial today, while Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah is leading a team of another 10 lawyers for Najib's defence team, including Harvinderjit Singh.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Tommy Thomas, who led the prosecution team, told the court that Datuk Seri Najib had abused his position and office to receive gratification during his tenure as Prime Minister. In his opening statement, he said the prosecution will prove that Datuk Seri Najib had used his position as Prime Minister and Finance Minister to obtain for himself a gratification of 42 million ringgit. The prosecution will also abundantly establish that the accused was directly involved in the decision on behalf of the government to give government guarantees for the loans amounting to 4 billion ringgit received by SRC International from KWAP. In such circumstances, Thomas said the law demands the highest standards of care in the discharge by the accused of his duties and obligations as trustee of public offices. The AG also said today's trial is the first of many kleptocracy 1MDB-linked prosecutions. Meanwhile, Companies Commission of Malaysia CCM Assistant Registrar Muhammad Akmaluddin Abdullah was the first witness to take the stand. He confirmed that CCM records show SRC International, which was at that time a fully owned subsidiary of 1MDB with a capital of 1 million ringgit.
Until today, Datuk Seri Najib has been charged in court 6 times with 42 counts of criminal charges. He was first charged in the Sessions Court with 3 counts of criminal breach of trust (CBT) and 1 charge of abusing his power over SRC International Seri Berhad's funds totaling 42 million ringgit. The Pekan MP was also slapped with 3 counts of money laundering involving 42 million ringgit in proceeds from unlawful activities with the money belonging to SRC International Seri Berhad. He pleaded not guilty. Datuk Seri Najib was brought back to the Sessions Court and charged with 4 counts of corruption amounting to 2.28 billion ringgit of 1 Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB funds and 21 money laundering charges. He and former Treasury Secretary General Tan Sri Muhammad Irwan Sarigar Abdullah claimed trial to 6 counts of CBT involving funds amounting to 6.636 billion ringgit owned by the Malaysian government. Datuk Seri Najib had claimed trial to a charge of using his position by ordering the final audit report on 1MDB to be amended before tabling it to the National Public Accounts Committee to avoid any action against him. While 1MDB former CEO Arul Kanda Kandasamy was charged with abetting the former premier in making amendments to the report to protect him from being subjected to disciplinary, civil or criminal action.